we need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifest the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Priya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Paramashivam.
Nithyananda, everyone. So, welcome back. And let us begin with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Shadrusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes. So, welcome back. So, hope all of you enjoyed the beautiful sharings by our initiated disciples and devotees of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So, the next segment is going to be how are we going to offer our devotion, deep gratitude to Devi Parashakti. So, each one of you who are watching this session, this program, can actually go ahead and post your comments in the YouTube. So, we will go ahead and learn what is the significance of offering. And you can also post your comments in the YouTube chat. Yes. So, what is the significance of offering? So, offering is a giving of divine gift, of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two parts. One is giving, number two is accepting. So, only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering itself becomes complete. So, even if you offer, only when it is accepted by the divine, it becomes complete. That is why in the Hindu tradition, it is regarded that once the deity or once the divine accepts it, the disciple gets the complete benefit of whatever he has offered to the divine. So, when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for only the purpose of enlightenment. So, whatever you offer to him, it is only for the purpose of your enlightenment, to remove your karmas, burn your karmas, and drop it at his feet, so that it is not made out of any fear nor out of greed. And we will continue to know more about the significance of offering. And first, we will actually enter into the Dhyana Sloka by invoking Parashakti. Induni bhaveda karabagni nayanam syat pankajavara japakshara sarayuktam angahima bhushana vichitra vasanam syat tunga makutojvala manonmani swarupam. Yes. So this is the Shastra Pramana from the Moola Agama of the Manonmani Dhyanam. So it says, moon-like face, holding the Vedas, the books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining bing crown. Her name is Manonmani. We also have one more Shastra Pramana, beautifully describes Devi Parashakti. Dhyayedhevim trinhetram sashini bhavadanam vedahastam dadhanam savye padbham varadamapare cha bhayam cha kshamalam divyairabharanair vibhushitatanum brahmadibhip pujitam devimeva manonmanim pratidinam kamarthadatrim shubham. Yes. So this Dhyana Sloka is also from the Moola Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam. I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon, and hold the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all the actions every day. Yes. So with that, we will move on. What is the significance of the divine element gold? So why should we offer the gold to Parashakti? So the Atharva Veda, it beautifully says, Tredha jutam janmanedam hiranyam agnerakam priyatamam babhuva somasyaikam insitasya para patata apamekam veda samreta ahuttatte hiranyam trividasya vishe. So triply born by birth in this gold from the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni One fell away from the soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful appa, means water molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. So gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. So that is the significance of the divine element gold. And gold is actually present in all the scriptures, the Vedas, the Agamas, the Shrutis, the Smritis, the Itihasas, and the Puranas. So in all Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly described that gold is most auspicious and the purest metal which purifies our being. So in the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. So ritual feasts were offered in golden bricks. So when one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. So gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. So kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold, and horses and cows were dressed up in gold. And Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold, and Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartani in Atharva Veda. So gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. So temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold. So because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years, it lasts forever. So this is the significance of gold. So why actually the Hindu tradition, Hindu civilization is offering gold as an offering to Parashakti. The next is offering to Devi Parashakti. We'll be moving on. What are all the various offerings we have to offer it as a deep token of love and gratitude to her? So the first offering is E-Hundi. The E-Hundi offering, the Sashta Pramana, it says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharadharadhya Sharvani Sharmadayini. So Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion. She removes all the fears. So you can offer any amount as an E-Hundi offering, and if there is any fear in the minds of devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. And it is stated that Devi lies worshipped in autumn, and it is meant that autumn of our lives, when thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes stronger. So this is the beautiful offering. You can offer any amount. So in Tamil, it is said Kanikai. So you can offer any amount as a Kanikai to Parashakti, and your name will be chanted out during the puja to Parashakti. So this is a beautiful offering. So anyone who wants to offer this E-Hundi offering can go to the link which will be projected now for you, and you can offer the E-Hundi offering. The next offering is Sankalpa chanting. So Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Mahatmyam chapter 12 verse 34 beautifully explains that the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. So that goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in materialistic sense. So offering this conscious resolution, that Sankalpa. So when you offer the Sankalpa, so whatever is your intention, you want to manifest wealth, you want to manifest health, good relationships, whatever you want to manifest, that comes true and it is literally blessed. And whatever wishes you're yearning for, it comes true. So that is the power of Sankalpa chanting. Your name will be chanted along with your sun sign and your moon sign. So you can offer it at $1. And the next offering is the offering to Devi Parashakti, the Swarna Kasu. So this is the offering of 1008 names of Devi Parashakti, and it is a very special and unique archana which is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, you can offer it at $75, $151 or $251. So the Lalita Sahasranama verse, it says, Nama Parayana Prita. So she who likes the repetition of her various names. So when you offer this gold coin, the Swarna Kashu, which has each of these 1008 names of Parashakti inscribed on it, you can actually receive Parashakti's blessings and to have the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, all the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. The next offering is offering of Mukta Anguti, finger ring with a pearl. So the Meenakshi Pancharatnam, it beautifully says, Muktaharalasatkirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham Shinjannu purakinkini manidaram padma prabhabasuram sarvabhishta falapradam girisudham vanirama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidim. I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So you can offer this finger ring with pearl, the Mukta Anguti, and receive the blessings to be showered by her deep compassion, her pure love in all your business endeavors. So you can offer this Mukta Anguti at $251, $501, or $750. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus, where the Kamikagama verse beautifully says, all the kalasas should be wound around with a suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with lotus flower made of gold. So you can offer this for $600. So what is the significance of offering this golden lotus? So there are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashivam. So almost everything in the worship of ultimate involves the consecration of deities of worship or meditating, or the mudras and asanas used during the worship involves the lotus flower. So the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petal. So lotus itself is a divine flower. So the Shakti of Paramashiva is also called as lotus. Base of Paramashiva Linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus. So you can offer the golden lotus in any size you wish to, and you can receive the blessings to achieve the state, the space, the powers of Parashakti literally in your inner space, in any kind of your adverse situation in your life. So the Swarna Padma Pushpam, you can offer it at $600. The next offering is the offering of Swarna Metti, the golden toe ring. So the verse, it beautifully says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. So you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower. So the Swarna Metti, you can offer the toe ring to Devi Parashakti, adorning her sacred feet, to be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of our life. So you can offer the Swarna Metti only at $750. And next is the Swarna Mangtika, to the golden hairline jewelry. So Sudha Sarabi Varshini. So she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from Sahasrara. So she gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So the Mangtika, it represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open. So you can offer the Swarna Mangtika at $750. So what is the significance of the Swarna Mangtika? So you can offer the Mangtika to Devi, receive her blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. Yes. Next offering is the offering of Pratyaksha Pada Puja. So this is a beautiful opportunity for each one of the disciples and devotees to actually offer your gratitude and to directly receive the blessings, and it is a direct way to actually destroy all your karma. So the verse from Saundarya Lahari states that nails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings. who always prostrate before Devi. Tamoguna is darkness, and in this sloka, tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. So, offering the Pratyakshapada Puja, it blesses the Yajaman with all the auspiciousness and all the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashi. So, along with this Pada Puja, you can also offer the Vastra Seva to His Divine Holiness and receive His blessings at $1,008. Yes. So here we have the list of all the offerings to Devi Parashakti, which is compiled here. So Hundi offering, which you can offer at any amount. The Sankalpa chanting, so you can offer conscious resolution at $1. Then next is the Devi Sahasranamaka, so the pure gold coin with one sacred name of Devi inscribed on the coin. So you can offer it at $75, $157, or $251. Next is the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring. It can be offered at $251, $501, or $750. Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus flower, $600, $1,200, $1,800. The Swarna Metti, the golden toe ring for the lotus feet of Devi, at $750. Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry, $750. Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Vastra Seva at $1,008. So we have the registration link, which is actually projected. So those who are ready to offer the online payment for the seva, you can actually click on to the tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. And after you do the online payment, you have the beautiful opportunity to submit your details for doing the puja. So you can submit your names to be chanted during the Sankalpa. And the link is tiny.cc/Sankalpa2021. So I request the NTV operator to kindly keep the slide projected, and we will actually help you go over the link, how to click onto the link and make your online payment. Yes, Nithyananda. So you can actually go to the link which was projected on the screen, and when you click on to the link, you'll be directed to this page, the landing page, and you can go over the page and you can actually choose an option of whichever seva you want to offer. For example, you want to offer the Vastra Seva to the Supreme Pontiff, and it is $1,080. You can add to the cart. So after you add to the cart, you will be actually proceeded to the next page where you can proceed to checkout. And after you proceed to checkout, you'll be guided to the page which will have all the billing details and various other details. After filling that, you can actually place your order. So once you do the final, the online payment for the seva, whichever you want to offer, you can move on to the next link, the Sankalpa link, where the Sankalpa link, you can actually click on to the next button and you have the various affirmations, the legalities. Along with that, you can fill out all your details and you can actually select whichever seva you want to select, give the next and fill out your details in the Sankalpa chanting. You also have a beautiful opportunity where in the live stream of the YouTube, you have the beautiful opportunity to offer your gratitude in the super sticker and super chat. So you can go to the super sticker and super chat and you can actually offer your deep gratitude in the form of whatever is available in the chat, the super sticker. So I'm seeing a lot of you posting your comments in the YouTube live chat. Yes. So with that, I give you a few minutes to go ahead and fill out whichever seva you want to offer it for the Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Yes. So with that, we'll get back after a short break.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Nithyanandam, everyone, welcome back. So we had a beautiful opportunity to offer our deep gratitude to Parashakti, the form of various offerings. So next is the most beautiful compassion and love of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he has opened up the doors of Adi Kailasa and various Kailasas in India, Sarvanyapitams in India, just to protect the humanity. So next segment we'll be actually seeing Kailasa's multi-layered quarantine opportunity for India, especially during this COVID-19 second wave, as a practical solution for health, joy, and bliss. So before that, let us watch this small video clip of revelation of Devi Parashakti on the 31st of May 2021. So she especially described about the Kirimi Bhojanam. So what is Kirimi Bhojanam hell that has opened up in India? First, let us listen to Swamiji, and then we will move on to what exactly she said, and we'll be translating whatever Devi Parashakti has read.
நீ சொல்லும் நபர்கள் போடும் சண்டை சச்சரவெல்லாம் எரியும் பெருநெருப்பில் இருக்கும் இரண்டு எலிகள் போடும் சண்டை போன்றது. யார் சரி யார் தவறென்பது இப்பொழுது முக்கியம் அல்ல. உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், எல்லோரும் நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நன்மையைச் சொல்லுகின்றேன், உண்மையைச் சொல்லுகின்றேன். இந்திய நாட்டில் இருக்கும் மக்கள் எல்லோரும் கேளுங்கள். கருட புராணத்தில் வியாசன் சொன்ன கிருமி போஜனம் என்னும் நரகம் திறந்து நேரடியாய் இந்தியா மீது இடிபோல் விழுகின்றது. ஆதி கைலாசத்திற்கு ஓடிச் சென்று வருமுன் காத்துக்கொள்வது மட்டுமே ஒரே வழி. கொரோனா பெருந்தொற்று கொள்ளை நோய் கிருமி போஜனம் எனும் நரகத்தை பூமிக்கு கொண்டு வந்து விட்டது. அகோர தாண்டவத்தின் ஆட்டம் யாராலும் அடக்க முடியாத அளவிற்கு ஆரம்பித்து விட்டது. புதிதாய் உருக்கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த நுண்ணுயிரி மைல்கள் கடந்தும் காற்றினில் உயிரோடு இருந்து மற்ற உயிர்களையும் அழித்து உடல்களை தின்னும் பெரும் வலிவு கொண்ட பேரசுரர்களாய் வலம் வர துவங்கி விடுகின்றது. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். வருமுன் காத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள், அது ஒன்றே வழி. அதற்காகவே ஆதி கைலாசத்தை திறந்து வைத்திருக்கின்றேன். உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ள வேண்டி விரும்பும் எல்லோரும் ஓடுங்கள் ஆதி கைலாசத்திற்கு. இந்தியாவில்தான் இந்த நரகம் திறந்து உலகெங்கும் பரவப் போகின்றது. கிருமி போஜன நரகம் பூமிக்கு வந்துவிட்டது. மனிதர்கள் செய்த மகா கொடுமைகளினால். அன்னை முன்னின்று என் அடியவரை காப்பேன் சொல்வதை கேட்டு உயிர் காத்துக் கொள்ள விரும்புவோர் வருமுன் காப்பது ஒன்றே வழி என்று தெரிந்து செல்லுங்கள் ஆதி கையிலைக்கு. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம். நீ சொல்லும்.
Yes. So what exactly Parashakti had revealed on the 31st of May 2021? So this is the translation. Everyone in India, all of you listen. The hell of Krimi Bhojanam that was mentioned by Vyasa in the Garuda Puranam has opened, and it is directly falling on the India as a thunder. Running to Adi Kailasa and protection from it is the only way. And the deadly corona life-taking disease has brought the hell known as Kirmi Bhojanam to the planet Earth. The dance of Agora Tandava, which no one could control, has started. This microorganism that has formed will be alive in air for miles together, destroying other souls. It will eat bodies. It has started roaming as great demons with tremendous strength. Understand properly, prevention is the only way. For that, I have opened Adi Kailasa. For those who want to save their lives, all of you run to Adi Kailasa. Only in India, this hell is going to open and is going to spread to the whole world. The Krimi Bhojanam hell has come to the earth because of the sufferings done by the humans. So this is exactly what Parashakti has revealed. So all of us listen carefully. She also continues to say, Mother, I will protect those at my feet. Those who listen to me and wish to save their lives. Learning that prevention is the only way, go to Adi Kailasa. So these are the actually exactly what Parashakti had revealed. So many of you might be wondering, what is Krimi Bhojanam? So Krimi Bhojanam is one of the 28 hells which are described in the Hindu scriptures, where people are actually sent to suffer in a pit to be eaten up by worms. So this is a reference in the Garuda Purana, Devi Bhagavata Purana in chapter 21 and 22, the Shiva Purana in chapter 16, Skanda Purana in chapter 2, chapter 30, the Brahma Purana in chapter 20 and chapter 106, Padma Purana in chapter 48. If you see the world 2021, the state of the world today, we can see 3 million total deaths, 139.9 million of COVID confirmed cases, with at least 12,744 new deaths every day. And there is an increasing spread of the COVID-19 cases, deaths, and vaccine doses administered. You can actually very clearly see in this graph. So along with that, you can see the various, after Parashakti has revealed, even the news articles have also been saying that the world's most infectious disease is now airborne. So COVID is airborne, and it is very, very serious and very dangerous now. And the news article from the Mint, it also says America's delayed acceptance of airborne COVID transmission. So even the World Health Organization and the CDC made this official. So this very clearly proves that this virus, this disease is now becoming airborne, and the COVID threat through airborne COVID threat is literally confirmed. So if you see this article, which describes about the key difference in transmission, when there is a droplet transmission from a COVID positive patient, the coughs and sneezes can spread droplets of saliva and mucus, where the droplet size itself is more than 5 microns. But when it is airborne, you won't even know the tiny particles, which is possibly produced by talking. They are actually suspended in the air for longer, and it travels further, because it is lesser than 5 microns. It is even difficult to find out, and that is why it is more dangerous and deadly when it is airborne. So this is some of the statistics of the current state of Tamil Nadu, the COVID status in Tamil Nadu. So 10,072 confirmed cases with 9,983 active cases, out of which there is 26 recovered and 63 dead. And you can see the various new cases and deaths in the graph each day when there is new cases being reported every day and new death rate. And number of deaths are higher when compared to the first wave. So you can see, especially in the region of Chennai in Tamil Nadu, so the various statistics that are being projected. You can see only in Chennai there are totally 294,000 positive cases, out of which 4,450 deaths, and most commonly affecting the age groups between 30 to 39. And this is also a tracker which shows the status in various districts across Tamil Nadu, like Chennai, Chengalpattu, Coimbatore, Tanjavur, Tirupur. This is the statistics across these various states of Tamil Nadu. And the vaccination status, where most importantly, even the healthcare workers, the frontline workers, the cops, totally around 20,000 people who have been affected. And next is the current status of the COVID-19 wave affecting the state of Maharashtra in India. So you can see more than 57,76,184 cases and 96,000, out of which 96,000 death rate. So each day there is an increase in the death in the state of Maharashtra, and you can see the rise in the graph each day, the number of deaths and the status of the bed capacity and the beds, oxygen, the ICU bed capacity, the ventilator capacity, everything is decreasing with the upsurge of COVID-19 second wave across the various hospitals in the state of Tamil Nadu and across India. So this is the case summary in Mumbai, and also different confirmed cases and health infrastructure. The health infrastructure is literally collapsing. It is not able to support because of the increasing impending pandemic cases. Now we come to the most important aspect, where the Supreme Pontiff had actually very clearly revealed in his satsang that multi-layer quarantine is essential. Home quarantine is not possible. So this is exactly a supporting news article which has been projected to you now. So the home quarantine is not possible in India. It is a statement made by the Indian government itself. So the Assam Chief Minister, Himanta Biswa Sarma, he very clearly says that home quarantine is one prime reason for the large number of deaths during the second wave of COVID-19. So number one, he says several people cannot be isolated because of the crowded people. 4 to 5 people stay in one single room, and they do not keep pulse oximeters. Even if they do keep pulse oximeters, they do not read the counts properly in the meter. So this is what exactly even the Supreme Pontiff have said. Even if you're staying inside the house, any one of your inmate of the house has to go out to buy the basic groceries and the basic vegetables. So when you come back, literally, if that person is infected, the whole house is going to be infected with COVID-19. So literally, the home quarantine, the idea of home quarantine is impossible in India. So even the one more article has been projected from the Economic Times, where Maharashtra, it ends home isolation in 18 districts. Patients from these districts have to go to a quarantine center, because very clearly the government itself is taking up this decision to ensure better healthcare facilities to the patients. And one on why home quarantine is impossible for majority of Indians. So here is one more article which says about 41% of the houses have just a single room which is shared by about 5 people. So this itself states it's impossible. So exactly what the Supreme Pontiff has been saying, that home quarantine is not possible and multi-layered quarantine is literally essential. So one more news article which says self-isolation for COVID-19 is impossible for 40% of Indian families, because on an average, 3 or more people were sharing one room. And this is a challenge to physical distancing, which is greater in rural areas than in urban areas. So this is one of the articles. So where the COVID-19 crisis, where is the space for home quarantine in cities? So it is nearly becoming impossible, particularly in urban households. Yes. So as we were seeing all these articles, when the first world countries are closing their borders using a massive global emergency, it is Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, out of his deep compassion. It is only Kailasa which has opened its doors to all without any exception. So if you see, when the whole world is closing out its borders, closing out its territories, its boundaries, everything, for people to stay home quarantined, now Kailasa is actually opening up the doors to everyone without exemption. So if you see, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he already had revealed that at least 6 months back, I became aware that multi-layer quarantine is needed to protect people. And if you are in India and you want to protect your immediate family or extended family, anyone who will listen to you, get them immediately to our campuses. So this is what exactly the Supreme Pontiff has revealed in his satsang. So out of his deep compassion and love for the humanity to give the best protection and preventive COVID care, he has opened up his Kailasas across India. So these are the various free COVID care centers which are opened across India. The Adi Kailasa in Bedidi, Bangalore, the Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam, the Pattanam Adinam, the Siragapadi Adinam, the Sripuram Adinam, in Hyderabad, in Madurai Adinam, Avatipalayam, Erode Adinam, Hosur Adinam, and the Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. So how is Kailasa and the Supreme Court of Hinduism rushing to help India as it really finds itself difficult to protect and save the lives of various people? So number one, by multiple free COVID care centers which are opened across India, and these centers were actually displayed in the previous slide. So through various COVID care centers, giving you multi-layer quarantine, various social services offered during this pandemic in the Nithyananda ashrams across India, various spiritual services which are offered during this pandemic, and cosmic revelations by directly from Devi Parashakti on the global pandemic. So moving to what are the free social services which are offered during this pandemic in Nithyananda ashrams and various Kailasas across India. Number one is medical care. So allopathy, so perfect setup infrastructure, all the medications with all the oxygen concentrators, pulse oximeter, the in-house ICU on wheels, with the ambulance, which is completely available for any kind of medical emergency situations, and the support of holistic medicine through Ayurveda and Siddha medicine, and the fire safety equipment maintenance, infrastructure to accommodate thousands of people who are going to be reaching Kailasa and who are reaching and who have been reaching for the protective and preventive COVID care, accommodation for the multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulances, the ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, groceries which are collected for the Annadan for people who are reaching Kailasa, and organic farming. So you can actually join the COVID care protection centers which were actually listed below, and you can follow with kailasa.org/Kailasa care. So we keep this link projected for you for a few minutes so that you can actually go ahead. Anyone who wants to save your life, because the Supreme Court has very clearly said this whole year, the only profit for any one of you is keep yourself alive, stay alive. Nothing, everything else, even enlightenment, is only secondary. So keep yourself alive. So you can now join any one of the COVID care protection centers immediately by registering through this link, kailasa.org/Kailasa care. So we keep this link projected for you for the next few minutes for you to sign up, and we'll get back after a short break.
Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda.
So with that, we will move on to the next segment
Paramashivam.
of how is this multi-layered quarantine which is being offered in Adi Kailasa. So what are the various preventive precautionary measures which are being taken? So these are the glimpses from the Kailasa's Department of Health on COVID protection for the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita. So these are the various immune boosters and the COVID care supplements which are being procured. So first is in the allopathic immune boosters, the zinconia, the vitamin D and vitamin C is available. And even through Ayurvedic medicine, the immunity boosters are being provided to protect all the residents of the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita. So what are the immune boosters which are being given every day on a daily basis? So steaming once a day with tulsi, eucalyptus, mochi and turmeric leaves. And all these herbal leaves are taken from the healing trees which are grown in Adi Kailasa. And twice a week consumption of the Kabasura Kudinir, a mixture of pepper, ginger and cloves and other ingredients extensively aimed for boosting the lungs, improving the respiratory system and treating infectious conditions such as cough, cold and fever. And the Nilavembu Kudinir to be taken once a week, the Agasthyar Legium 5 days, Talisadi Vatakam 3 to 4 tablets per day for 5 days, the Indu Ghanta Kashayam and Amrutottara Kashayam both for 5 days, 1 teaspoon with 50 ml of warm water. So each of these immune boosters are given to each and every resident of Kailasa and those who are actually reaching Kailasa out of deep compassion. So this is the utmost protection anybody can receive if you are in the multi-layered quarantine inside the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita. So the next is Sudarshana Gulika once every 5 days. Next is gargling with salt and turmeric twice a day. And apart from that, a very beautiful spiritual routine of Panchakriya, cleansing and detoxing your body. Haritaki, having Haritaki, castor oil, neem juice, and the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, yoga, Trinetra Kumbhaka Pranayama, and the puja. Yes. So now we'll move on to the basic sanitization and the safety practices which are actually ensured in the Adi Kailasa. So disposal of soiled pads, infected material, and non-biodegradables which are done through incineration. The RO water systems for drinking water. Cleansing and sanitization of overhead tanks. Regular de-weeding, maintenance, and repair of electrical circuits. The communication facilities are actually in place for the safety of the residents and the compost pit filling with biodegradables. Yes, so many of you will be having a doubt. So what is the diagnosis, the quarantine methodology which has been adopted in the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita? So once you want to actually reach Adi Kailasa or any one of these Kailasas which are listed, so you can actually sign up in the link which is projected. And then you need to take an RT-PCR test and get the report of the test. So immediately upon arrival on the campus, you will be quarantined for 15 days. And then the swab test, the RT-PCR, will be repeated on you during your quarantine period on the 5th day. And all the food handlers will be wearing masks, gloves, and keeping up the social distancing. And the disposal of waste food to be done with the glove and masks. And the gloves and masks in turn will be actually disposed by incineration. So in case of any emergency, so there are protective kits which are already available, ready at hand to take the COVID positive patient to hospital. Yes. And hand washing and infection control, which has been actually maintained. So washing hands as often thoroughly with soap and water or with alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and avoiding the sharing of items between the Adinavasis or between people who are actually quarantined, either dishes, drinking glasses, cups, eating utensils, towels, beddings, or any other items with residents in the Adina. The next most important in the COVID care is the mask protection. So wearing a mask at all times whenever it is exposed to vendors or outside people. And a double layer cotton masks which should be changed every day up to 24 hours, and it can be reused after washing with wet by saliva or your sweat, so you can change it and wear a dry mask. So the wet mask can be stored in a sealed plastic cover, washed with detergent, and it can be reused later. So you can see the N95 mask, which has been actually prescribed for this COVID second wave, is being actually given to each and every Adinavasi. Next, most important is the face shield for the people who are handling the vendors and outsiders, especially when they are in the first line of quarantine. So the first face shield will be provided as an extra protective care for the people at the gate who are interacting with the vendors. So they will be given sanitizer, hand washing, regular steaming, the preventive kashayams, the turmeric saltwater gargling, and bathing with washing of clothes with history of any exposure. So if they have any symptoms like cough or fever or difficulty in breathing, they will be immediately informed by the medical team and the care will be taken. So now we have these standard operating procedures, the quarantine rules. So what is the first line of quarantine? So people in the first circle who are at the gate, who are actually in contact with the vendors. So their area of stay will be confined to the outermost area where the communication with the outside world is happening. So they will be staying in a well-ventilated single room with an attached separate toilet facilities. And they will not anyways come in contact with the inmates of the campus. So especially elderly people, especially pregnant women, children, and people with comorbidities like hypertension, diabetes, heart problem, asthma. So his movement inside the campus will be restricted within the area or room. That is the first line of quarantine. And after that, any package delivery which is actually reaching the Adi Kailasa or any campus, see all the parcels will be received at the gate. They will be sanitized, they sprayed with a disinfectant. And every delivery will be contactless. Even if the vendor comes, it will be contactless delivery. So face masks, hand gloves will be mandatory. And optionally, the product will be actually left in a protected and isolated, and there will be a contactless delivery. And the outer packaging of the item, the product, will be disposed before even it enters inside the campus. And the packages will be actually literally quarantined before being delivered to the concerned authorities. And all the delivery bags, boxes, and containers will be thrown away after transferring the items to the respective places. And the surfaces of the package will be actually cleaned with a simple disinfectant and left to dry. And all the hands, all the people who are handling these packages will be thoroughly washed with soap, water, and antibacterial solution to prevent any contamination and transmission. And all the mailed packaged products, the non-perishable, it will be left outside for 24 hours before using them. And the disinfection with sodium hypochlorite, bleach, or chlorine will be used with 1 teaspoon of bleaching powder in 3 cups, and alcohol at 70 to 90% will also be used for the surface disinfection. The clothes will be washed separately with detergent and dried, and sharing of items strictly prohibited, and this will prevent the spread of the virus. So these are the various standard operating methodologies which will be followed, which are followed in Adi Kailasa and various Kailasas. So what are the warning signs? So if you have fever for more than 5 days, Fever returns in the second wave after having been afebrile for a day or two. Fever is more than 101 degree Fahrenheit after the fourth day. The resting heart rate is more than 110. You have breathlessness and tightness in the chest. And the oxygen saturation is less than 94% when it is actually read on the pulse oximeter. And every participant will also be actually guided to a 6-minute walk test, which is like the saturation rate will be recorded before and after you're walking briskly for 6 minutes. So if the oxygen saturation, it falls more than 3%, it is not favorable. And if it is less than 94%, it is also not good. So these are the various warning signs, and these specific COVID care will also be taken if any of these warning signs are actually seen in the Adinavasi or in the people who reach Kailasa, the quarantined people, and relentless cough, continuous coughing. So if you see all these beautiful multi-layer quarantine COVID care measures, you can see the literal compassion. And the whole world has closed out due to this impending pandemic on the humanity. And people don't know what to do. Even home quarantine is impossible. Even the government has declared. Now Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff, has, out of compassion, has opened up the doors with all the infrastructure available to protect yourself and prevent the second wave of COVID, and not only that, prevent and save your life from the third wave of COVID. So you can see the in-campus ambulance, which is completely equipped with all the pulse oximeters and everything which is necessary, even if there is any kind of an emergency situation. The second line of quarantine. So now we move to the second line of quarantine. So prevention is the best medicine. So people who come in as newly will be given a separate room. So once you enter Adikalas, you'll be given a separate room with separate toilet facility, and under no circumstance you will be allowed to exit the room. And the designated quarantine person picks up the food. So you will be allotted a person who will be giving you the food, and he will picks up the food after the person who serves the food is at a safe distance of 6 feet, and the food will be placed outside the door. And when you're in quarantine, so your temperature will be monitored, your pulse rate, your oxygen saturation levels will be monitored every day once. And more often, if you are symptomatic, you'll be actually monitored more. And you'll be given the medications if you're symptomatic with the temperature more than 99 degree Fahrenheit, with good hydration, giving you nutritious diet, steam inhalation twice a day, salt and turmeric hot water gargling twice daily. And you will be given Ayurvedic and Siddha medication as per instructions. And if you have any symptoms and it is worsening, for specific management, the medical team will be contacted with further consultation, investigations, and you will be given the treatment. And you will be continue to take your medications if you have sugar, if you already have pressure or any kind of a heart ailment and you're taking medications for that, you will also be asked to continue the medications. And if the conditions are at higher risk, then the medical team will be consulted and you will be taken care of that. So the residents on medication will be asked to bring 2 months of the supply of the medication till the campus is able to organize the medications for you. And you'll be asked to take long, deep breaths, pranayama, lying in a prone position as much as possible so that the lung expands as well. Yes. So when you are asymptomatic, when you don't have any symptoms, you will come out of quarantine after 15 days. And the test will not be repeated if you're clinically well and there is no symptoms in you. And if at all you are symptomatic, there are symptoms persisting in you, you will need to be retested and you will need a medical opinion, and necessary investigations and treatment methodologies will be taken care. Yes. So in the second line of quarantine, these are the common symptoms which will be looked out for. Number 1 is fever, sore throat, fatigue, which is excess tiredness, cough, mostly dry or wet cough in some people, body aches, headache, loose stools and vomiting, loss of sense of smell, loss of sense of taste, exhaustion, giddiness, and fainting. So if you actually see all these previously mentioned symptoms will be provided with immediate evaluation and hospital care if you are symptomatic. So early detection of these warning signs and identifying the timeline is very, very crucial for better outcome. So these symptoms will be monitored very closely, and most important thing that needs to be done. So when the identifying the day one of symptoms is very crucial in the management with respect to monitoring and the treatment protocols. So day one would be when the first symptom has started. Maybe you had a cough or you had a fever. So investigation will actually start on for identifying the possible source of contact. So all the people who have come in close contact the past 3 to 6 feet range with the primary case in last 3 days, they will be isolated and monitored for the symptoms as well. And infectivity starts in 3 days before the onset of symptoms. And the infected person actually literally sheds the virus till 9 days. So till 15 days, why is the first layer of quarantine is done? Because till 9 days, the virus is active inside of you. And any of the above symptoms in various combinations, it signals the possibility of COVID. So even though the same symptoms can happen with any viral infection in a pandemic, it is to be considered as possible diagnosis until proven otherwise. So any rare presentations like rash on the body, bluish discoloration of the fingers and toes, sudden onset of breathlessness, paralysis of the limbs. So any suspect case will be isolated immediately. Yes. So an RT-PCR test will be taken if you are symptomatic immediately, and the contacts whoever has come in contact with the person will be monitored for symptoms and will be tested if there are any symptoms are showing up, or else to wait for 5 days if they continue to be asymptomatic. So we can actually differentiate between it is a symptom of a normal fever or symptom of fever because of COVID. And a negative report will ensure that you can move into the community. So each of the group which is quarantined will be actually taken care by one of the leads, which is assigned by the medical team. So only that assigned member will be tasked of taking care of the quarantined person. So he will be using all the COVID care measures like using masks, social distancing, sanitizing, cleaning the surfaces, and when he's handling any soiled linen of the quarantined individuals. So he'll be actually following all these measures. So no visitors will be allowed in the vicinity of the people who are quarantined, and in case the person being quarantined, he becomes asymptomatic, all the close contacts will be taken care and followed up for an additional 15 days until we get the report as negative on the lab testing. So these are the various things which will actually are followed in Adi Kailasas. We have a lot of people who have reached the Kailash and various Kailasas in India. So what is the environmental sanitization that is being taken care? So clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces in the quarantined person's room. Like when you're quarantined, your room will be completely disinfected. Toilet surfaces will be disinfected with a big solution. Your clothes and other linen will be separately disinfected. So these are the various measures and methodologies which are actually taken care in Adi Kailasa Sarvagya Peetham. So the Adinavasis and the various devotees and disciples who are coming into the campus must take the following medical tests. So the test will be now projected to you, and the results should be sent to our medical in charge, Dr. Ma Santana Lakshmi. You can email it to her at ma.santanalakshmi@nithyanandauniversity.org. And the results will also be reviewed by the medical team at the ASJP Female Campus, Dr. Atma Niranjana, Santana Lakshmi, and Ma Chandravidya. So what are all the medical tests you need to be taking along with your RT-PCR test is a complete blood count with peripheral smear, blood group type, fasting and postprandial blood sugar, your renal function tests, blood urea and serum creatinine, VDRL test, HBsAg, your HIV, thyroid functions, the serum T3, T4 and TSH, ECG, liver function test, and the lipid profile test. So these are the various medical tests you need to take before you reach Lhasa, and you need to get your RT-PCR test for the COVID-19 taken 2 days before that, at least 48 hours before coming into the campus, and you have to send it to the email address which is actually mentioned here to get your clearance before you enter into the campus. So once the test results are actually reviewed by the medical team, it will communicate to the administration of the respective Adinam, and you can reach the campus as mentioned based on your reply. So once communicated, so you should come to the Adinam within 24 to 48 hours of the test, And if there are any pre-existing medical issues that you are actually already having blood pressure or diabetes or any other chronic diseases or any comorbid situation, you can also bring your recent reports and prescription from your attending doctor. And a medical form will need to be filled in by all the new occupants when you reach the campus. And a legal disclaimer will also be required to be signed. So once you reach the campus, all of you will be quarantined for 15 days and you'll be monitored for any kind of a temperature rise, oxygen status using the pulse oximeter and other symptoms during the period of your quarantine. And anyone, if you're symptomatic, then you will be reported, you'll be isolated, and the designated quarantine person will be responsible to monitor your pulse with the pulse oximeter and temperature every day, and based on that, your reports will be carried out. So the equipment whichever will be given to the quarantine team, it will be sanitized after every use by each and every person, and the knowledge for the same will be given to the medical team. And all your recordings, your reports will be reviewed by the medical team every day. And during the quarantine period, you will be given certain Ayurvedic and Siddha preparations and steaming twice daily, saline and turmeric water gargle, and other immune boosters, which we had already mentioned, also will be given to you as caregivers, has to be, and everything will be followed very strictly. So what are the other rules and regulations? Once you finish your period of quarantine after 15 days, then you can be out of quarantine and you can become a part of the community living in the Adinam. But the basic guidelines which are actually followed in the Adinam will be maintained, like smoking, drinking, drug, substance abuse will be strictly prohibited. Consumption of non-vegetarian food is strictly prohibited. Illicit sex is strictly prohibited. And following the basic etiquette like wearing traditional Indian clothing, personal and environmental cleanliness, and hygiene. Yes. So the next, once you reach the Adinam after your quarantine, how is the sanitation and of the Adinam maintained? So the following measures will help prevent in the spread of infections like any kind of a small cold or flu or stomach bugs. So make sure, like we will ensure that all the places are clean, and like desks, the tables which are used by people, the telephones, the keyboards, everything will be wiped with a disinfectant and ensure that it is clean and hygienic. And regular hand washing will be promoted for Adinavasis and those who have reached Kailasa, and keeping sanitizing hand rub dispensers in prominent places around the workspace, and making sure that these dispensers are also regularly refilled, and the display posters promoting the hand washing, like washing kills the virus on your hand and prevents the spread of infection. So promoting good respiratory hygiene in the workplace, display posters promoting respiratory hygiene. Good respiratory hygiene prevents the spread of infection. So anyone with mild cough or low grade fever, they say they will be monitored by the health personnel with isolation, and even if the symptoms are mild, and they will be given the surgical masks like N95 face masks in their quarantine room, and medications like paracetamol, acetaminophen, ibuprofen may be given, and ensure and pre-order the sufficient supplies and materials including masks, tissues, and hand sanitizers for all the inmates. So in case of any emergency, those who have reached Kailasa, or emergency for the Adinavasi to leave the campus, so these are the various travel precautions would be taken. So mostly the travel outside the campus will be discussed with the medical department, and nobody can leave the campus without any. So the plan will be like it should cover putting the ill person in an area where they are isolated from others, and the local health authority team will have a working relationship with a good hospital, adjacent hospital, for any case of a medical emergency, and emergency contact numbers of the hospital will be noted down, will be given to all the medical team members and the admins for any kind of an immediate reference. So now you can see the picture of oxygen concentrators, which are actually completely and fully equipped in our campuses in Kailasa, especially in Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham, to handle any kind of an emergency medical situation. Yes. So now, in this most impending condition of COVID-19 second wave, the pandemic, which is affecting the people at large and taking away the lives of lakhs of people, especially in India. The Supreme Pontiff, out of his deep compassion and love, has opened up the doors of Kailasa just only to protect our life. So he doesn't have any other vested interest in it. So just to save your life and protect yourself, he has given this huge opportunity for humanity. And you can join any one of COVID care protection centers and register through the link below. So kailasa.org/Kailasa care. And you can also post your comments in the YouTube live chat. Any of your questions or doubts or any comments, you can post it in the YouTube live chat. So we will keep this link projected for you for the next few minutes. And we'll be right back after a short break.
Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.